Hey brewers, today we are going to show you how to make a Mangrove Jack cider kit. This will apply to pretty much any cider kit that comes in a pouch like this, doesn't matter what the brand is. So first off, you want to make sure to pick up 1 kilogram of dextrose. The kit does not include that. And you'll also need either some more dextrose or some carbonation drops on bottling day. So just keep that in mind. So first thing you want to do is make sure that your fermenter and any equipment you'll be using today is thoroughly cleaned and sanitized. I use Diversol or Be Bright, the pink powder, to clean on my equipment. So I'll soak it with this, give it a really good rinse, and then I'll use Star San as a no-rinse sanitizer to make sure that everything's nice and sanitized. So first thing I'm gonna do is add about 5 liters of hot water. You wanna make sure that you're using either store-bought water, or if it's your tap water, make sure you filter it to get the chlorine out. You could also use some Camden tablets to do that as well. All right, so we've got about 4 or 5 liters in there. I'm gonna stir in my dextrose. All right, that's mixed in real well. And take a clean pair of scissors and just cut the top off. Today we are making an apple cider hopped with Citra. I haven't tried this one yet. Pretty curious to see how it tastes. I've done a few other Mangrove Jack kits that turned out well. There's strawberry, passion peach, a couple other ones. All right, so in here we have some Citra hops, the apple cider flavoring. And so you can see, so basically the pouch is split in two. The cider extracts on one side and then your instructions and everything else I'm pulling out's on the other. A nice instruction sheet. Mangrove Jack cider yeast, and then a sweetener. Okay, so they mention adding the dry hops later on during fermentation, either when you rack to a secondary. And also I didn't know this, but they mention adding this sweetener at the same time as the yeast. So we're gonna do that. So I'll pour in the apple extract. You could add some warm water to this to try and get it all out, but this is getting like 99% of the extract out of here. I don't think I'm gonna bother. Yep, that looks good. And then we're gonna top it up to 23 liters with cold water. All right, so now we have 23 liters total. You're gonna wanna stir that up really well. And again, for the cold water, this is some clean, unchlorinated water that I'm using. Okay, that should do the trick. Next, I'm gonna take a hydrometer reading. You don't need to do this, but I like to know roughly how much alcohol is in whatever it is I'm making. Looks like we are at 1.046. Yeah, 1.046. So I'm gonna go ahead and write that down. And then whenever I'm gonna bottle, I'll take another reading, and then you can figure out how much alcohol you made. Just Google ABV calculator and just punch in your day 1 reading and your boiling day reading, and it'll tell you how much alcohol is in there. Gonna add in the sweetener pack. Give that a good stir. And we'll just sprinkle on the yeast. Just want to try to get it evenly over the surface here. And that's it. You want to put on your lid with your airlock, clamp it down really good. A lot of time people think their beer or wine or cider is not fermenting, and it's just because their lid wasn't clamped down all the way. So the CO2 would escape through the lid instead of through your airlock. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna get some Star San solution to put into my airlock. So I grabbed my spray bottle with Star San, and I'm just gonna squirt some into my airlock here. Having it in a spray bottle makes it handy when you're just quickly wanting to sanitize something, like a spoon or something like that. Okay, so the instructions say after 5 to 7 days to rack it into a secondary, like a carboy. You can do that, that's totally fine. I'm honestly just gonna leave it in here for 2 weeks, and then once that's done, I'm gonna rack it into a bottling bucket. So whatever you prefer. I find either method works fine. Apple flavoring is gonna go into the bottling bucket along with your priming sugar if you're using that, so just make sure not to lose this. And then the dry hops, I'm just gonna add in 7 days, and then I'll let them sit for the next 7 days. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. Other than that, please subscribe and like this video if you wanna see more content like this. Cheers.